I wanted to talk about, or just kind of like remind us all, because we've talked about this before, haven't we? We've thought about it. Maybe it's just dawned upon us. Perhaps we got a little bit of a hint of what was going on. Um, that money does not conduct authentic relationships. Like it doesn't require you to be a real person. In fact, it more than ever, and it might not have been in the past that it was like this as much, but because, well, maybe something is masking, and the more and more miserable people get, or things get, especially the prices of things, if it goes up and up, um, the more fake, the more you're going to see how fake it kind of is. And then how that it always needs recruitment. If you think about that, like you have to recruit entire tribes out of jungles to do what money is up to, big money, as far as yeah, that genre. There's a possibility that could be a movie that we're watching industrially. How could you get people to continue to do things that like gives them cancer and does stuff like this? Because or even take over lands and pillage and start to assholeize, I guess what I would say, but it's really colonize. Sorry, colonize. Yeah, just put down the colon is the main word. Colonism, assholism, I guess. I don't know. Colonists, assholists. Anyway, hi, it's me. Minute two. We're doing a little comedy too, just to loosen us up and remind us, that that's important to stay in touch with your inner child. Yep, because the subject of narcissism is all about that. See, there's healthy narcissism, and then there's unhealthy, there's pathological narcissism. There's the sense of self, is what we're talking about, and that sense of self is coming from your inner child from way back. That's the way God made it, by the way, and we don't have any good information on that except for if we look at some people who stuck with their inner child, you can see how successful they were. Getting back to money. Well, who? What's a good example of that? Who has ever stuck with their inner child and made a bunch of money? Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. See, that was a big thing that stuck out. But see, he kind of let everybody down. I don't know why. There must have been some kind of other abuse that went on. That other than just, man, I'm dancing and I love it and I continue to make money. I continue to make money perfecting my voice and dancing and writing music. But see, see, he never really mentioned that. Oh, I was sexually abused, right? You don't really hear that. You just hear that they propped him up early, and Sam Vaknin and a lot of studies of psychologists along the line here. Psychology. Sorry, my hair is. I just got up out of bed. It's 2 in the morning. I got to make a video. Back to my old self. But it might be more and more sparse that I'm making videos, which is a good thing, right? But anyway, I don't know. I might not ever appear ever again. How are you doing, my friends? How's that sound? The friends don't want to hear about that. No, don't leave me, blah, blah, blah. You're supposed to collect friends here, by the way. Yeah. And it's not really that personal as you think. But it can be, but it shouldn't be. Because, like, don't you want to be safe throughout the entire world if you were to go and traverse it? Don't you want to run into more, like, don't you want to know who is your friend and who isn't? Like, what is? You know, that's important, really. And a lot of people are naive. You have no idea. Getting back to money, how it shelters you away from knowing anything at all. Yeah, it's true. But there might have been a time, kids, that money did not conduct that kind of racket at all. Like hardly. See, when my great grandma was being reared, is the proper way to say it. Um, it was coming off of an impression that what's behind money and civilization was progressive. And see, also, sorry, they were a lot healthier back then. Yeah, yeah. What I mean is that there was less disease. Oh yeah, people appeared so beautiful. I don't know about you guys, but where I live is a part in Southern California that it's like, well, I live in the United States, and I just think it's filled full of ugly people. Like the norm is to be sick, and it's like, okay, you just have to put up with that. It's like, who's the centerfold nowadays? Like, right? There is just an unquestionable math or feeling or see a geometry really, but see, it's the same to me. It's like music. You have a noise, but now we can reduce it to the metaphor or analogy of water. And I've even seen, when I used to watch TV, I saw this commercial that was like this. It it used okay, so it there was an orchestra playing, and it was all out of tune, and there wasn't anything going on, right? Musically, there wasn't anything happening, and so, but they were talking about water. They were using the orchestra as a metaphor about the quality of water that you should drink, right? I think it's an advertisement for Aquafina or something, which none of those waters are that good. You just go by taste and feeling. It's like, no thanks. You're better off going to a lab, which there are water labs. I call them water lab right now, but they're just water stores. That's the age that we live in. If you don't want to be poisoned by your water, for some of us, that's the way it is. You know, because we go by the water company who is systematically putting. Fuck, I didn't want to talk about that, but